This week we are studying author's purpose. Persuade, inform, entertain, explain, and describe. In other words, you're going to get pied. First of all, we have persuade. This is when the author tries to convince the reader to do something or agree with him or her. My grandma should win the Orange County's Best Pie contest. Her pie is the best in the world. She makes it from scratch with fresh cherries. Everyone who gets a taste of Grandma's cherry pie agrees that there is nothing else on earth like it. She has entered this contest for the past 10 years, but has never yet won. My grandma is most deserving of this award this year, and I know she would be most honored to win. In this text, the author is trying to convince you to agree that his or her grandmother should win the contest for her pie. Next, we have an I, which stands for inform. This is when the author gives true factual information about a topic. The first pies made in the 12th century were quite different than the pies we eat today. Those early pies appeared in England and were made mainly of crust with a meat filling. In fact, the pies often contained fowl, and the bird's legs were left intact to hang over the sides of the dish to be used as handles. Fruit pies are believed to have been created 400 years later in the 16th century. Wouldn't have wanted a pie back then, would you? Anyway, this author is trying to inform you of the origin of pies and what was in them in the early years. Next, we have the first E, which is for entertain. This is when the author writes something for your enjoyment. Julia and Jeff dropped their backpacks by the door. Like always, the twins were ready for a snack after a long day at school. They spotted the last piece of pumpkin pie at the same time. They made a mad dash for it, crashing into each other and the counter. Jeff snatched the glass dish up first, but didn't have a good grasp on it when Juliet made a swipe for it. Splat! Juliet, look what you did, Jeff cried. This passage is simply entertaining you with a story. It's not trying to convince you of anything or give you any factual information. It's also not explaining anything and didn't describe in detail any of the events or activities or characters. So it was merely for your entertainment. The other E is for explain. This is when the author gives directions on how to do something or tells the steps in a process. Follow these steps to make a truly terrific tasting pie crust. First, chill the dough for at least an hour. After the dough has been chilled, roll it out flat with a rolling pin. Do not overhandle the dough. Transfer it to your pie dish. Press the dough gently against the dish. Trim the dough so that 1 inch is hanging over the sides of the dish. Tuck this rim under itself to create a thick rim. Finally, bake the crust in a preheated oven, 425 degrees, for about 10 to 12 minutes. This author's purpose, as you can see, is a sequential text structure because it is explaining how to do something. And our last letter is the D, which stands for describe. The author uses descriptive words, often invoking the 5 senses, and many details to tell about a topic. As soon as I opened the door and stepped into Aunt Mabel's house, the aroma of warm blueberries rushed forward to greet me. I followed the scent into the kitchen where my gaze fell upon a blueberry pie with a beautiful, perfectly golden lattice crust. Aunt Mabel proudly handed me a slice of her divine creation. I sunk my teeth into the flaky crust and warm, soft blueberries. Ah, it was heaven in my mouth. In this case, the author described the scent, the look, and the taste of the blueberry pie. As a follow-up, Here are the letters of PIDE all over again. What is the PIDE method of author's purpose? P, persuade, to convince you of something. I, inform, to just give you information that can be found to be true. E, entertain, make you feel something, sad, scary, happy. It often includes dialogue and you will enjoy it. E, explain, to give the reader directions. Or D, describe, to appeal to most or all of your five senses. Another graphic for you to see with our purpose, definition, and examples. Persuade, the author wants you to do, buy, or believe something. This can be found in advertisements, persuasive letters, opinions, campaign speeches. Inform, the author wants to give you information. This can be found in textbooks, nonfiction books, expository essays, biographies, newspapers, articles, or directions. Entertain, the author wants to amuse you or for you to enjoy the writing. This is found in fiction stories, poems, songs, plays, jokes, and narratives. Explain, the author wants to tell you how to do something or how something works. This is found in instructions, directions, steps, procedures, or how-to recipes. Also, we have describe. The author wants you to visualize or experience a person, place, or thing. This can be found with product descriptions, descriptive essays, and imagery. One more graphic just to drive home our point. We get PIDE in author's purpose. Persuade, inform, explain, entertain, or describe. PIDE.